With that being said, though, let's start off with Heavenly Delusion. Guys, hold on, I can't do that. Can you guys give me a hell yeah? Hell yeah, brothers. You guys know what time it is. You guys know what time it is. It is Ed the Wizard time, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to get on in here. Give me some fucking Doritos, ladies and gentlemen. Drop all the self-care Doritos. Give me some hell yes. Guys, I appreciate each and every single one of you guys for being here. Hi, welcome on in. It is Heavenly Delusion time. In case you guys are wondering, like Ed, you know, how did this come about? Well, chat was the one that decided. Oh, thanks so much for the sub. I appreciate it, Cough Me. So chat was the one that decided to go ahead and pick Heavenly Delusion to go ahead and be a part of like our weekly shows that we watch. We go through, we watch it, we analyze it. And my number one thing that I want to go ahead and throw out there and clarify is, as a therapist, as a psychologist specifically, we take your narrative that you give us and we go with it. If you identify, for example, as he or she or they or whatever you identify as, that is your identification and we'll run with it. So I had someone ask me, one of the mods asked me like, dude, so why'd you stick with he for, I forgot her name. I forgot their name. I forgot, but they're like, why'd you stick with he? And it's like, because that is the narrative that he was given. I didn't take it as a joke. I took it as a serious moment. So I just kept going with it. Doesn't matter if they are or they aren't, but I just took it and ran with it. Yeah, Kuruko. Yeah, exactly. So as a psychologist, as a therapist, if you come into my office and you're like, you know what, my pronouns are this, that, I am running with that. And so you tell me, you know what, my pronouns are actually this, that, right? So with that being said, I also want to say hi. I hope you guys appreciate it. Welcome on in. What else can I say other than, if you guys like deep analysis, we will be pausing, we will be talking, we'll be analyzing pretty much everything. This isn't just your standard emoji react. No, we are literally stopped like every 30 seconds. Even if the answer is like 31 seconds in, sometimes I foil myself this way. It is not about predicting or predictions or anything like that. It is about analyzing the characters as they are, because that is what we do as psychologists. That is what we do as small wizard psychologists and all the wizards, I guess, like apprentices that we have here, to be able to go ahead and understand the world, our environment, behaviors, and so on and so forth. With that being said, let's jump into it, shall we? What do you guys say? Let's go. You guys need audio. All right, there we go. Let's go.
5年前、僕らは電動カートレースの興行を生業にしていた。
This is 10 years since the calamity. Terrifying. Actually, really fucking terrifying. So we're 1 year away from the calamity. We're 1 year away from the calamity, ladies and gentlemen. Holy fuck. Actually, genuinely terrifying. Let's bring this up, right? In a global catastrophe, in a global semblance, and I know I've talked about this before in other episodes, but I do gotta ask it. Do you have a setup? Do you know what to do in case of a global national emergency or whatever? Say, I don't know, a tsunami is hitting, or a big virus is going around, or an asteroid is about to hit the Earth, or something like that. Of course, it's not going to devastate the whole Earth, but at least like portions of it. Or the biggest earthquake since forever hits, and it's like a mega whatever. All the volcanoes erupt. Whatever. Do you know what to do in case of an emergency? Do you have stocks and stuff supplied? Like, you know, stocks of water, stocks of canned food, and so on and so forth. Do you have semblances of hope in that environment to keep yourself safe? The reason why I ask this is because one of the most dangerous environments to be in case of an emergency, we'd be fucked, right? Maybe water, but food, nope. Not gonna lie, I'd probably like Nintendo from Zom 100. Haven't thought about it, so no. So I'll even take it a step further. Do you have a boogie bag, right? Do you have a backpack or something? I do. I tend to have mine. I have one at work and I have one here, which is a backpack in case something happens, that has first aid, has enough water to get me by for at least a couple of days, has so on and so forth, that I can just strap it on and dip if need be. But also same for, I have tons of frozen food, but how long would that last before it all goes down? When the thing happened last year, banks and gas stations were locked, and I realized I'm completely unprepared for something like that. huge emergencies like that, what is the greatest threat? And I hate to put it this way. What is the greatest threat to you in case of an emergency, right? Absolutely not. But what is, thank you, not. What is the greatest threat in if an emergency like that or something happens? Probably some people. People are going to be your biggest threat. Other people, 100%. Like, and even, for example, even this, right? What just happened right now. That is an emergency where I'm at, right? Because guess what? If you have a heat stroke or you overheat and whatnot, it is dangerous. It is really dangerous to your life. And in a case of a national emergency, if something were to happen during summertime here, what do I do? How do I keep myself cool and being able to go out and survive and doing certain things? And this is why I bring it up, because a lot of people, like, we live our life in a lot of times in automation mode, right? Which is, we've automized pretty much everything. We've automized the way that we think, we automized the way that we eat, so on and so forth. So looking at this, it's like you have to take into consideration a little bit of an extra step just in case anything like that were to happen. Let's take a step further. What does this mean if we're going back in time like this, or forward in time? I don't know where we're at. 10 years since the calamity. If this is in the past, what does that do? What does that do if this is in the past? That's where my mind is rushing towards. If this is in the past, was this intentional? Or was that like on purpose? Or not, was that intentional or like accidental? My bad. Like, is this a man-made calamity that was done on purpose, or was this accidental? And if this is in the future, well, what the fuck happened?
5年前、僕らは電動カートレースの興行を生業にしていた。
Go. Oh no. What a cool introduction to a character. What a really fucking cool introduction to a character, right? What I'm learning is that Mario Kart is a post-apocalyptic sport. I mean, you're not wrong, right? All right, hold on. Let's talk about this, right? And I'm interested where this is gonna go as well. But like, I also feel like this might carry more weight into it, right? So almost immediately, and I think this is true about any environment, which is even in a post-apocalyptic setting, it doesn't matter where or when, right? Once society starts to normalize your environment, whatever may have happened. What comes next? Why are they enjoying their time on the carts, guys? Why do you think that is? That's because we as individuals, we as humans, we as whatever, enjoy sports, play, aspects of playing, gambling and whatnot to keep us distracted from it's recreation. It's a distraction from what's happening. Exactly. So that's one of the key reasons as to why that's happening. You got to blow off some steam. You got to be able to go ahead and keep your baseline in check. And so by allowing yourself to be silly, to gamble, to do these activities, you're keeping yourself in a, which is funny because what happens when the electricity runs out, right? Like, hold on, I'll do it like this. They clearly still have electricity, but what happens when there's no more electricity and stuff like that starts to run out? Then they'll have to reinvent the way that they play. And it's interesting that they're currently using like stoplights and whatnot as ways to go ahead and do things, right? I'm just surprised you're dedicating resources to stuff like that. There are less expensive sports. There probably are. There probably absolutely is less expensive sports and stuff to do. But in situations like that, especially when you have people like, we're going to call it like the first generation of a calamity. First generation of a calamity, it's weird because they still remember the old world, and they still have aspects of the old world and the new world that they're trying to fit into. So that's that's a dissonance, right? That's a dissonance between their old world and the new world, and they're trying to find like a happy medium. Even if it wastes resources, even if it's like unproductive or nothing, for them, it's like trying to find a happy medium between both of them to keep themselves stable. Now they make it as fancy as possible. True. Absolutely true. But really good questions. They could have rebuilt enough to have this access. They could have. Other sports may be less expensive, but kart riding would give them a lot more jobs to be fixing up, setting up racetracks, besides some guys just playing ball. It's also a motivator. Let's put it this way. Someone is able, right, for some reason. What about the second generation? The second generation will probably still have intergenerational trauma as to what happened to the previous generation. So they might hear stories, but it's not as prevalent to them. And then the third generation, it gets less and less prevalent, the older world, you know. Means we're probably no, we just started, brother. We just started, Toby. So it even goes further like this. Global apocalypse happens, right? Global apocalypse happens, so on and so forth. Someone is able to rebuild a PC that has your favorite anime in it. However, the power in that PC, or, may last 10, 15, 20 years. Would you cherish that? Would you use some of your resources, your excess power, to watch some of your favorite shows to not go insane in this world? I would. I'm not going to lie. I would probably throw on there a couple good shows, even if it's on repeat or whatnot. I'd probably throw it on there, find a USB to store it on, keep that shit in there for future generations. Like this, like, for example, I'd be like, in this USB, there is the best anime and dojins and spicy videos you will ever find, my child. I'd probably, keep duplicates and stuff as an absolute win. Yeah, oh shit. Taking care of your mind through entertainment is also, absolutely. It really, really is. But that is one of the key points that you're also throwing out there, because you could put it in a USB, in electronics or whatever, key information for the future, right? You can type in information that you know on how to survive. For example, if I put in, because I think I have pretty good knowledge on most aspects of psychology, but at least my aspects of psychology in here. Society in the future does not need to start over from zero again. If I got like an engineer to put all of his concepts of engineering and like the next person, it could be a key to the future. But what else could be a key to the future? Could you imagine? I send this USB in the future and it's like Onimai, what was the other one? Like Boku no Pico. The first generation, yeah. On cave drawings. But like, what else is a USB without it being a USB? What else is a key to the future, guys? What else would be a key to the future? People, kids, memes, our genetics, the way we throw out there, concepts of like, how you can go, art, yeah. Speedball, thanks so much for the sub. I appreciate it. You're wonderful. Stories, yes, stories, memes. For example, say I'm gonna put it out this way. Say that a global apocalypse were to happen. Yes, this is all related to Heavenly Delusion because this is aspects of future orientation and of thinking of the moment, right? Say that a global apocalypse were to happen, and Masters and all of you guys are my kids, right? For whatever reason. or you guys are like a part of like a clan or whatever of kids that like were growing up during this time, I would tell you guys stories, right? And I would tell you guys, like, I wouldn't, like, especially if you guys are little kids, big stories about the big monster, you know, named the ego, right? Or the id, and so on and so forth. Why? Because I could tell you guys, hey, you know what? One of you guys has to keep these stories alive. And if you guys tell your kids and your kids tell future kids and future kids, guess what? That story may be able to go ahead and continue. This is why we still have folklore and lores in our legends, right? In our histories, in our cultures, because they're teaching us lessons that like from the past that they've learned that they wanted the future to go ahead and like understand as well. Now, are they 100% correct? Probably not as applicable, but do they still carry information from that time period? Yeah. Also, how will the stories be portrayed and changed through the zeitgeist? Yeah. Tales of a wizard that creates the future. But it becomes everyone's meeting, and I can already fucking tell that this AC is going to be an issue today. Tales of a wizard that creates the future. Yeah. Religious texts will be made of anime. Well, through that, though, and this is why it's huge, is like we're being introduced to this element. I'll wait till we get to here before I go and turn it back on. We'll see how far I can go. The concept of destruction and repair, even through this, right? Like you're racing one another, you're hurting one another, you're experimenting, and being a racer and whatnot, I'm sure must come with some prestige, some aspects in there. But the fact that people are still hunting one another down, and for me, this introduction of power dynamics is huge, huge. Like let's look at this, right? Hold on. First off, beautiful kick. Although I wouldn't have my hands behind my back like that. I do wonder, and this is a serious question. This is something it could turn out very, very wrong. Very serious question. In an environment like this, how much does your morality sway or turn gray? For example, right now we go through our social constructs of what is okay and not okay, and clearly them trying to rob someone automatically might spring a construct of like that, like social construct to defend, to do whatever, to be there, to try and be a good person, to whatever. But without there being proper rules and laws and whatever still in place with the global catastrophe and whatnot, what changes? What aspects start changing? Are you more prone to do some very fucked up things in a world like that? You have some hard boundaries on others. Are you more prone to take, like, you know, to be able to kick and beat people up versus, I don't know, like saving a dog or a cat or an animal or a pet that is being washed away in the rain or in a canal? Are you more prone to like take someone's life, or are you more prone to go ahead and like I don't know, help out a kid that's like running around without his parents? Where does your morality start swaying in a post-apocalyptic world like that? Stealing stuff suddenly becomes really appealing. It actually becomes a part of the gnome. Exactly. And this is like a huge turn event as well, you know? Like, it's huge. Over time, it just becomes normality. Yep. Fucking shit, dude. Under something like robbery and manslaughter, this is a very... hold on. Let me put you over here. Something like robbery and manslaughter that is a very bad thing today could become a normal after a time setting because everyone starts doing it, and those who don't end up dead. Yeah. But it's also like in first generational, right? Is he charged? Well, let's be out of fear. I would say it's more out of necessity at this point. Look, he comes through the kick, right? Someone that's able to go ahead and like damage your opponent, damage your friend or whatever in one fell swoop, for me, automatically means that this person is danger. All right. So you could say fear. You can even say out of retaliation. But the reason why I'm highlighting this, though, is that right there, he must be a notable figure. People probably know who he is. And then it's 2 versus 1. So what do? In a fight, you usually try and take down the strongest opponent. So that way the weakest opponent, like, you don't have that much of a time. Voltina! Guys, give a huge shout out to Voltina. Mods, please. The wonderful, incredible, illustrious Voltina, please. But that's why I'm like, look, he's shaking. His stance is weak. His stance is really fucking weak. And he's charging forward like that. I will always say this, guys, in case you ever get into a situation where there might be like someone with a knife or something like that, run away. Give them what they want. I'm never going to say stay there and fight. Nothing like that. Give them what they want. Run away. Do whatever needs to go ahead and do. Like a good martial arts instructor will always say that. You will not win in a knife or a gunfight. Straight up. Don't matter how much, like, you know, ninjutsu you know that you're trying to go ahead and do. Like, it is really, really difficult to get away from a knife fight or something like that without getting hurt in the process. So, looking at this, though, these guys have been making fake tickets. Yeah, now the pocket sand ain't gonna get us out of this one. Him putting his hands and rushing through, right? Yeah, that's that would be turns for a flip or a good kick or something. Only if you're only if you're cornered, only as a last result. But even then, I will always say prioritize your safety. If you are in danger, you run. Like, you do not mess around with this. And like, I think every good martial arts instructor, yeah, I know it's muted. I'm moving it back. Every good martial arts instructor will go ahead and say this. Let's go ahead and continue, ladies and gentlemen. What I find interesting is, are these our main characters that are being introduced through the... Isn't the opening so fire? It really got me laughing. Is this the introduction between... I always forget their names. Why do I forget their names, bro? Is this an introduction between, like, the... Kiriko and Maru, yeah. Or, because isn't Maru the one that's, like, searching for his, like, twin or someone that looks like him or whatever? Like, he's like, there's someone else that looks like me that I gotta inject them with this thing, right? Kirikou and Maru, yeah. Yep. Man, it's fucking hot. Yeah. So this is why I'm bringing this up, though. Like... Is this a reflection of like these two parallels that are at play here? It's either Kirikou and Maru, right? Or is it Maru and then the person that looks like him? They're also trying to find heaven. Yes. Kirikou is his bodyguard and identifies as a guy. It is hot indeed. Oh, thank you, Liana. I appreciate it. Maru has a person who looks like him. Kiriku's... Yeah, that's what I thought. Because I remember thinking like, like someone that looks like you, that's fucking trippy. So yeah. So then it's Maru and someone that looks like him, or Kirikou and Maru, and they're both up in the sky, up in heaven. Interesting. This little piece right here makes me wonder, is there genetic experimentation happening, guys? Because what I'm getting here is like, you know, the twin doves of peace, or you know, two birds intertwined by fate with like some sort of experimentation, or, you know, because something like this doesn't look normal, you know? Do that weird thing last episode? True. Maybe not. Well, I mean, the whole superpower things that the kids kind of have, you know, with like throwing the ball, catching it and whatnot. Here's my thing. Are they just play dolls? Yeah, like, cause that sounds like experimentation. That sounds like some fucked up type of like next level, you know, gotta do the people's elbow while doing every finisher type move. Like, it just sounds like fucked up experimentation that people are doing. But through that, let's take it a step further, which my thought process is, why are we limiting, or do they have more abilities than just the ones that are shown? Or are they limited to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 abilities? I'm so curious about that, because my main thought pattern is, what the fuck happens if, say that like Mickey has the power to go ahead and, I don't know, do some incredible like telepathy, Cleanup has the power to go ahead and like go super speed. Faranoda has the power to go ahead and like read minds. And like, what if I just grab genetics from all of this shit and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and put it into Cyberspace Kitty here, right? And Cyberspace Kitty is gonna have like superpower of this person, and this person into that. That's sort of what I'm thinking. Is like, what the fuck would happen in an environment like that? Because this is sounds good, Cleanup. Because this is some wild shit, dude. Like, what I love about this, because every scene seems to be like a fucking painting, right? Is like the spider webs break it up like the same way where in Arcane, Jinx holds up, or like she's putting on the mirror and it's broken and like her face is sort of shattered and sort of like the visage of herself and like it's completely shattered into different pieces. The way that we're viewing this world is like through an interconnected web that like is all like scattered up into different pieces, right? Reading minds could be a blessing and a curse. Absolutely. Absolutely. What is are these like shrines or whatnot? Like what are they called? Torah shrines or something? Is that what they're called? Because it looks like it's a bunch of them repeated in a row. Right? It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4. Like the Japanese gates. Yeah. The Torii gates. So the reason why I'm pointing this out is what makes us human, right? So guys, what makes us human in a situation like this? I love the fact that it goes from the Torii gate, sort of a representation of like religious or like heaven and hell or aspects through this. And yet it focuses on a fake kid holding, you know, one of those flyers things. So look, boom. The Torii gates go out of focus for them to showcase literally a fake kid, right? A kid that's made out of metal per se. That's why, like, for me, seeing this and whatnot makes me wonder, would people consider the kids in heaven, right? Would they consider them, and I'm assuming it's heaven because that's where the tomatoes are, as real kids? Or would they be considered as something else? Would they be looked at as something that is unhuman? Not like monsters, like the boogeyman per se. Because seeing this, automatically my mind's racing into like, what makes us human and what makes us understand the spirituality of ourselves in that case, right? Can you, for example, can you fake, if I were to put 2, 3, 4 of these kiddos right here, identical, would you still consider that normal? Prioritizing fun over high purpose? It could be. It could also be that. Although I do find it interesting that there's like these like caution signs of these things behind the big semblance of purpose, you know. That's what's interesting. This is a good show, dude. I do have to lower the Heavenly Delusion opening and ending, guys. I do have to be a little bit sorry about that because editing-wise, it's a fucking nightmare. So I just remembered that my editors told me that. They're like, if you can, please, like... So, through this, so... Oh, thanks so much for the follow for the yeah. So through that though, let's talk about this, right? 3 birds, 4 birds going out of wires like that, like the fragility of life that it is, right? Even through a big aspect in of itself. I do find it aspect like funny that it in a way, and this is gonna sound fucked up, the Tory gates look very similar to the power lines. I kind of just caught that. In a way, the Tory gates, like this is from an upside down perspective. Look, it looked kind of similar to the power lines that we have here. Like similar construct, not like they look identical. But if we take a look at it, right, 2 big pillars with something in the middle that's interconnecting people. Back in the day, it was religion. Whereas nowadays, it's more like quite literally technology. That's why I find this fucking interesting. It's a very interesting perspective in that. And it's interesting that it shifts onto her, where it's sort of an aspect of those. And aren't these the symbols that they use in Tory gates? Hold on. I might be wrong. But like, don't they put this like on like doors and shit? If there's like evil behind them, like they would place one right here and be like, there's evil. It is the curse of whatever. And it's like right here and it has whatever. It's like, don't open the evil inside or whatever. Because he's standing he's standing on top of a bunch of them, or could be wishes for the future. Could be that like, and this is sort of what my question is Maru a curse? No, is he the hopes for the future, or is he a curse created? So it's like, is he? And I know I might be overcooking for a second. But is he quite literally either the hopes or the luck for the future, or whatever you want to call this, the wishes for the future that he can carry in his hand? Or was he created out of a curse, and he's quite literally a curse that has to work towards establishing whatever the future may be? I think these are lucky charms. And things are bleeding together. Like the Tory gates are religious, but in the world of electricity, it's so revered and important that it's almost like a divine presence for the people in this world. Yeah. It is. That's actually a really, really wonderful explanation of that cleanup. That's beautiful. They look more like wishes rather than talismans. They could. It does sound like a lot of pressure. Hold on. This is him running. Game over. He runs, right? It's like a quick snap of a game over. Fuck, I wish I could go back and forth here. Whatever. He gets up, he runs. Game over. Continue or kill? Continue or kill? Bruh. Oof. You cannot give up yet. Undertale music is starting. Right. It's like you either continue or oof. This though is beautiful semblance of how like every decision has every turn. You can make 101 turns and still end up right where you started. Literally, one of them brings you right back to where you are. Other people have 101 possibilities, and life is fucking terrifying and often unplanned. And yet, I like how hold on, look, what is the last word that comes out of this? Isn't this the kanji for human or person? Isn't it? Or is it fire or tree? I think it was one or the other, right? No, what is that kanji for? No, it's a kanji for big. And then the kanji for heaven. Oh shit, okay. This looks a lot like the outfits that the kids were wearing. This looks a lot like the outfits that the kids were wearing. Hear me the fuck out. Hold on. Hear me the fuck out. Hear me the fuck out for a second here, please. Please, sorry. I gotta throw this shit on. Hear me the fuck on, right? Okay. So we got a semblance here, right? Hold on. A lottie cooking. Of quite literally the past, right? Tory Gates, a big symbolism, you know, for like what society used to value a lot more, right? Used to be a big symbolism of religion, of establishment, of routine, or whatever. One of the kids, right? Red, you know, it looks a lot like the kids in heaven, right? In terms of like that fabricated life, whatever, in with the older structure. We get the gates, right? We get the, I guess, the newer Tory gates, if we're going to go ahead and call it that way, and the future orientation as to what may come, right? Sort of how society evolves and whatnot. And then we go back into her, or into him, with, and boom. So look, like, their hair doesn't even look orange like it usually does. Look, it's like that red, white, with the Tory, and then it changes into like the white Tory gates with the white on top, right? Sort of like the old with the new. And then switches over to a very similar aspect of red and white, and then white with the same thing there. Sorry, I know this might sound like I'm fucking crazy, dude. So it looked like, and the Tory gates representing religion, but they're dissipated and dirty. Could it be representing them in a false heaven? Absolutely. Could also represent them, like, one of my big things is this the future? Is Maru the future? Is Maru essentially what the future is? I.e., he's quite literally being shown in a situation like this where, if this is the past, right, a past organization, a past semblances of heaven or whatnot, with say whatever heaven, this heavenly delusion of an aspect may be, right, and the way that he's paving the future compared to the newer Tory gates, which is white with the white on top, right, transitions into flip. Like how it's not shown as orange, but red with white, same as the kid that was playing with the thing in the and then white again. So my big question is, are these essentially characters from two different timelines joining together to try and solve the future? I don't know what the purpose is, but at least, like, it's either someone with future orientation. We already know that he has that power, that weird power that he has, right? And then someone from the past, right? So are the kids in heaven? Is this set in the past? Is my question for you. If my dude Maru here is the future, are the kids in heaven the past? This is what I'm getting off of this. This is legitimately what I'm getting off of this. Look, and it kind of makes sense if like the Tory gates, you know, older, lot more rotten down, everything, where like it looks exactly like the kids in that environment, right? Boop. What I find interesting though is that the kids in that environment, the kid in this environment, it's like sort of chasing, instead of taking in the grandiosity that is like happening around them, it's content with the world that it's been given. Like, it doesn't really know, or like the way that it's framed is like, you know, a kid that with the mind so simple that it's just happy with its like toys. But yet, like, you know, we clearly saw that like the outside world was a lot bigger, a lot more looming, bigger, that there was bigger situations and stuff happening, right? But the kids are so entertained by their little toys. And then this one, it's the opposite, where newer world technology, right? And then it shifts on through where he's more interested as to what's happening outside rather than like the the looming thing. It's so interesting. Such an interesting concept here. Sorry, guys. I just saw that, and for me, it made sense. And then it goes into the concept of games. Having vision in episode 1 of 2 people from the outside visiting their place, and one having the same face as Tokyo. Yeah, it's more than likely to be happening at the same time. Is it, though? Because who is Tokyo to begin with? That's my question is, who's Tokyo to begin with? We're back to it. I'm going to go ahead and back it up just a little bit. Man, that was something else. Holy bananas, guys. Oh. If it'll load. Currently watching Heavenly Delusion. Thank you. Thank you. Very much appreciated. Also, guys, please remind me on Discord to go ahead and put in the sound bites for you guys again. I'll put on the music soon enough here. Hold on. Them running. Is he the tree of root from which everything spawns from? So he must take everything away? Alice! Love of my life, how are you doing, you beautiful individual? How you doing, Alice? I hope you're doing well. Hope you're practicing that self-care, Alice. So is my understanding for everything is like when you've seen the Heavenly Delusion videos? Oh, I'm glad. I'm excited. I'm so glad, Alice. Hell yeah. Is his power essentially being the tree root from which everything stems from? I.e., he must go ahead and atone for the sins of the past or the sins of the future, and that's a big aspect that like is coming from this. I know and this whole concept of duality is actually being brought up again, right? So, for example, I hate to keep coming back to this, but the kids that look exactly like the kids in there with the big Tory gates that was on focus first, right? To it being a big representation that I think might be, you know, a kid from the past, like versus Maru, which represents the future, right? And then again, we get a semblance of that here, where everything stems from it, right? From his power to do whatever, and turned into a big blossoming tree. I.e., in the midst of chaos, blossom or like, you know, beauty may come out of it. Or I guess organized chaos. You mean he's a reason for the monsters and has to take them out? No, I mean like he may not be the, like, for example, the sins of our fathers might not, or the sins of our mothers or uncles or great whatever, may not be the reason why monsters are out, right? But we must be, like, with our powers, especially if Mickey has, like, I don't know, the powers of Eins Ul Gown, right? And let's say that there's, like, a big travesty on the way. Mickey, you would probably feel entitled, well, not entitled, but you'd probably feel guilty that you have this much power and you can't do anything about it. So more than likely you would probably find a way to go out and like stop a big cataclysm from happening in some way, shape, or form, because you have the powers to stop it. Unless you decide, not my problem, but I don't see it landing that way. Why is this the only... Hold on. Alice, I'm sorry if you're in here, dude. We're probably just going to go miles deep for a bit. why are they the only character that gets this after image effect? Like, always, no, Alice, I'm not smart. I'm just one big Pepego wizard, brother. When it comes to this, it feels like it's two different like semblances of self, right? The self that is trying to go ahead and be like a shadow of what we're going for, and the self that is reality, right? Because if you look, one of them's always running ahead or on the side, or the semblance of, yeah, this is... Could it be an identity issue? Because even like the whole like smelling, like not even smelling of hair, but like I know I bring this up a lot, especially in Arcane. I have an individual that I'm working on, right? I have an individual that I'm working with in therapy a long time ago, and a lot of their concerns came to do with identity and came to do with aspects of themselves. It wasn't so like this is sort of kind of was a dissociative identity disorder, but wasn't to the point where they had like a lot of alters or anything like that. The line art separating from the colors is really, really interesting. That's what I'm saying. It feels like it's like another version of you, right? That is trying to get ahead, or you're trying to catch up to. But what I find interesting is, for that person that I was doing the individual counseling with, the way that they, like, pretend I had longer hair, right? Pretend I had longer hair. The way that they would go ahead and ground themselves back would be by smelling it, and then, like, they would ground themselves back, and you would see a huge shift in the way that they, like, interacted and the way that they did things. Like, it was absolutely wild. Like, absolutely wild. Shifting identities, dysphoria, one might say. Oh, yeah. Like, and that's why I'm bringing this up. This is why I'm highlighting this. It's because for me, it's like, I'm noticing that quick little flip that that he did for his hair, and I'm like, how much guilt do you carry, like, inside of yourself to be doing this in a big way? Most people would just push that hair out of the way, but, like, you look at that, like, lovingly and comfortingly, and, like, that brings you comfort. Like, Rudy's panties are his comfort for him, and for you, your hair and yourself seems to be a comfort zone. But yet, it is still an issue of distortion. So I have a lot of questions to bring up in this. Or maybe there's something bad that happened, but I don't know, man. OPs often tend to have a lot of clues for what may come. With that being said, hi everyone. If you're lurking, you just got here. Sorry, apologies if you guys were here before the power went out, whatnot. Apologies, I'm back. Appreciate you all being here. I do gotta ask you though, I have a question for you guys. Have you ever not felt comfortable in your own body? Have you, like, and I don't mean like just like either gender dysphoria or like any form of dysphoria. I mean, like, have you ever just not felt comfortable with yourself, with who you are? Maybe you feel like you're too pudgy, or maybe you feel you're too big or too skinny, or maybe you've had issues of insecurities with other aspects like that. I don't like my belly. Definitely 100%. Of course. Yeah. Yeah. Like, a lot of people tend to like, that I've come across tend to be like, oh no, that's an automatic issue. Everyone has insecurities. And I think this is a big thing out there, right? I believe due to social media, there isn't a single person that hasn't. Right. And that's a big thing to throw out there, is like, everyone has insecurities. And sometimes, like, those insecurities become more prevalent when we're, oh, Eliana, like, how has that been for you? The reason why I'm highlighting that is because I have a lot of transgender friends who have gone through a lot of hate cycles in for themselves, and especially within family and outside of family. So how has that journey been for you? We are forced to be insecure. Creators. Let's say that I think of something, right? And I'm like, this is going to be the greatest thing since apple pie. And I fucking throw it out there. And you guys are like, oh, look, it's Ed, like Ed with his hair down, right? Being like, oh, I'm Ed, whatever, right? And then like I come back and I flip my hair up and it becomes the greatest fucking meme out there. And I'm thinking, oh yeah, this is a joke within my community. And next thing I know, I'm being fucking blasted everywhere. And the insecurities within myself as a content creator might explode off of that and so on and so forth, you know? Like, insecure people love to pick on insecurities sometimes without realizing that there's a thin line between constructive like forms of like, hey, okay, this happened, are you okay with that, like here's how you can improve, and then quite literally bullying, right? And this is why I highlight it. I highlight aspects like this because insecurities happen and sometimes we're not comfortable with ourselves, with their body, with who we are, with so on and so forth, and at times it comes into ourselves coming into, I guess, our own realm of being, into what we want to go ahead and proceed and accomplish. And if not for yourself, then how do you want to break that cycle for your kids or for your kids' kids? So for example, if like I'm gonna ask this, and you guys can take this whatever way you guys want. What would you do differently than your parents did for you? What do you want to improve on that your parents did not do for you? But also, Liana, nothing but love and support for you because you're an absolute joy and you're absolutely incredible. And I hope, you know, you're 100,000% accepted in this community. Legit. I have skin disease, so it's uncomfortable. I mean, it's passy, and that's a very, very big thing for some people. Like medical illnesses and diagnoses can be a big aspect of that. Give them some time to breathe and show them the real world for a bit. You think you were a bit too sheltered, Masters? Yeah. What about the rest of you? What are you going to do different for, if you want to have kids, if you have kids, or for future generations, what would you do different? Just be there and not cheat out on money? That's a big one. If you were gone, if you were to suddenly disappear, say that your life was taken from you for whatever reason. You died, sickness, whatever. What legacy do you want to leave your kids with? And I think that's another one. Try to exercise with them and maybe sign them up for martial arts. Hey, there we go. All right, let me back it up. Oh, Lena, that's a good one. Oh no. You want me to be honest with you? This guy would probably be dead. In a realistic fashion. Any kicks, this is why this is illegal in martial arts and any UFC, any organized sports. Any hit to the back of the head is an automatic no-go, right? You can, like, I know, like, I mean, you did what you had to do, but just throwing this out there, if you get in a fight, defend yourself, but also know that, like, anything back here can almost automatically cause insta damage.
Haruki, 喧嘩するときは相手から目をそらしてもいいんだ。相手の目を睨むなんてのは威嚇だけで事なきを得ようってチキンがやることだ。目をそらして相手の襟を見な。それから地面、足の裏で立っている感触を確かめろ。喧嘩は相手しか見えなくなってるやつ。
This is showing me as a martial artist, I'm not going to lie to you, I'd be afraid to be around him. And by that, I don't mean like as a martial artist. I think I could take him on as a martial artist. That's separate. Say that I had some friends with me, Alice, Nick, so on and so forth. I would fear for their safety. I'm not going to lie to you. Someone, I know that we're in a fight or flight state, but someone that is trying to go ahead and impart in instances like this, what do we immediately see? For me, it's a lack of power and control. It is an automatic semblance of power dynamics that are being set where for him, he's prioritizing himself in that aspect. And the next step that might happen is for him, like, this might be an accidental killing. Right? That might be an accidental killing, and he might just think that he's doing whatnot. So imagine if he takes this and this rage, this environment, this whatever happens if he's trying to hook up with you, or your friends, or he's trying to go ahead and like get drunk and he like accidentally goes wild and throws a punch or two, not knowing like the limits of his own strength. He's taking his anger out on him. But Nick, even through that, like, this is why I'm saying, like, as a martial artist looking in, and especially through the psychology of someone that, like, doesn't know the limit testing in that lack of self-control, and immediately, like, for me, this raises red alarms towards, like, anyone that is vulnerable around them that might be, like, in a weaker state. Like, kids and, like, everyone, essentially. Like, this is, yeah. He's bleeding from his ear, so that's already like internal bleeding. Him kicking him in the back of his skull, he's already done for. Like,
Haruki, 喧嘩するときは相手から目をそらしてもいいんだ。相手の目を睨むなんてのは威嚇だけで事なきを得ようってチキンがやることだ。目をそらして相手の襟を見な。それから地面、足の裏で立っている感触を確かめろ。喧嘩は相手しか見えなくなってるやつが負ける。こいつらは上の門に引き渡す。
Wait a second. Who is traveling with Maru again? I just want to make sure. Who is traveling with Maru again? Kiruko. In my opinion, the stream lagged on the perfect moment with Kiruko. I'm cooking up something. I'm cooking up something, but I'm not quite there yet. I don't want to throw it out there because you guys are gonna be like, "What the fuck?" I'm looking at this through a body language perspective, and instantly what I'm seeing is like I'm yeah. No, I'll wait till later. I'll wait till there's more. It's in the pot. It's in the pot right now. We need to add some more water and some more ingredients before we cook it.
相手の目を睨むなんてのは威嚇だけで事なきを得ようってチキンがやることだ。目をそらして相手の襟を見な。それから地面、足の裏で立っている感触を確かめろ。
This is actually sound advice, right? I will say this. If you ever get punched, don't flinch or don't look down. Don't look away. Take the punch so that way you know how to move forward, right? A big aspect through that is like even when fighting, when I take off my glasses, I can only see like shadows. Like it's pretty bad. Like my eyesight is really, really bad. So often what I do is I look for shadows or I hear movement and that's how I fight, right? With my glasses though, what I tend to focus on is the center of the chest. Wherever your center is, right? Wherever your center is going, you're more than likely able to go ahead and dictate where that person's center of energy is going to go ahead and move. And you can start planning accordingly to try and take them down. Moving into the punch is actually a good choice. It dampens the blow. I mean, it's up to you, right? And it's up to you as to like how much training and advice you like, how comfortable you are in an environment like this. And this is why I'm highlighting this aspect is like, for me looking in, it's key. Like, you know, when you're fighting with someone, look at their chest, be able to move accordingly and deplete them accordingly. When I'm looking at something that also know is glasses or contacts worse to get punched in. Side note is glasses or honestly, at least with my glasses, if I get punched, they go flying off. With contacts, yeah. Don't you have to look at the person's eyes to see where when they attack, or is it false? That depends. That depends as to what martial arts you're into. I look at a person's face from time to time, especially because sometimes there's some key like nonverbal expressions that come out. But oftentimes their center of their body language, right? The center of their movement, whether stable or not, you're able to tell 101 things off of that.
喧嘩は相手しか見えなくなってるやつが負ける。こいつらは上の門に引き渡す。春樹、お前の手柄だ。なんか欲しいもんがあったら言え。
行く？猿とカラスとネズミかな。あれ、そのジャンパーロビンにもらった。
ちょっとでかいよな。
すぐちょうどよくなるよ。へえ、いいな。私もなんか欲しい。
じゃあズボンでももらえば？半分に切れば履けるだろ。
そんなに足短くないわ。お腹すいた。姉ちゃんおかえり。何着だった？見てなかったの。落車して危険。怪我は？後続の人が避けてくれたから平気。ねえ先生。危ない。マジで気をつけろよ。
本当に気をつけた方がいい。
分かった分かった。危ない。マジで気をつけろ。
This is gonna sound weird.
切れば履けるだろ。
そんなに足短くないわ。お腹すいた。姉ちゃんおかえり。何着？
There's something internally of me that's screaming, and I don't know why. This is like legitimately, there's something internally in me that's screaming, especially about the sensei here. Because isn't this the sensei that Kiruko is looking for? Yeah? Isn't this the guy in the picture, right? Both of them are, right? There's something that's screaming to me about this power dynamic present, and I don't know why. Yeah, Robin and the Doctor. There's something that's screaming about this, like for me, that's like all the fucking red alarms are going off, because you would think that like he would try and either walk behind or walk on the side, walk in front, maybe have a conversation on the side. Maybe he's examining her, but like. I don't know. There's something fucking off, and I can't put my finger on it. It's just something that's like it might be a cultural thing, but like through my perspective, it's like, is he observing these interactions, or is he? I don't know, bro. My mind's going a little fucking. It's like itching the back. Yeah, it's like something is slightly off, like from here. Look.
お腹すいた。姉ちゃんおかえり。何着だった？見てなかったの。落車して危険。
And there's something about the stillness of the Doctor that takes me away.
いいな。私もなんか欲しい。
じゃあズボンでももらえば？半分に切れば履けるだろ。
そんなに足短くないわ。お腹すいた。姉ちゃんおかえり。何着だった？見てなかったの。
I think I found out what it is. I think I found out what it is. In a scene where everyone is in movement, the kid back here, she's in movement, he's sort of like engaged in this conversation. It's like he's like observing them. It's like one of those scientists when they're observing people, like. And like the world around them is moving and shit. And it's like, whoa. Like the scene. And it's not just that. Because look, if he would have, like, he could have come around and matched her, right? He could have come around the other way and like interacted with these kids over here. But no, he decides to stay the same equidistance away, right? And still eyes locked observing this. He just forgot to breathe.
落車して危険。怪我は？後続の人が避けてくれたから平気。ねえ先生。危ない。マジで気をつけろよ。
本当に。
And he still hasn't moved. Hold on.
そんなに足短くないわ。
419 roughly.
そんなに足短くないわ。
419.
お腹すいた。姉ちゃんおかえり。何着だった？見てなかったの。落車して危険。怪我は？後続の人が避けてくれたから平気。ねえ先生。危ない。 マジで気をつけろよ。
本当に
Takes him 21 seconds to say anything. It takes him 21 seconds to say his first phrase. It takes him 21 seconds, and even 21 seconds in, with movement behind him, standing still, he still does not move 21 seconds into the scene with her. Doctor just wants to, yeah, this reminds me of Darling in the France. Purpose to make it feel like she's going to take a step further into the plot. Daily reminder to chat, are you breathing manually? I've had those days. 21 seconds in, and his advice is you really should drive more carefully. There's something off. There's something so fucking off about him. I don't know. I don't fucking know, but it's screaming in the back of my head like, this guy, like, run away. Like, this guy, run away. I don't know, man. It's like, say that I was having a conversation with you. I'm like, hey, chat, how are you guys doing? You guys ready? Wait, hold on. You guys ready? Alice, we'll start off with this. How's your guys' day? Just humor me with this, right? Humor me with this real quick. How's your guys' day going? Are you guys, oh, Black Maestro, yo, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. I hope you guys are doing well. Guys, what's up? How are you guys doing? Oh, guys, I have something really, really actually, like, important to tell you guys. You really should drive more carefully. You see what I'm fucking getting at? you see what I'm getting at? Like, you feel the anticipation, right? Yeah, and that was 21 seconds exactly, by the way. That's, like, it's creepy as fuck. That's why I'm bringing it up. I was looking dead into the Ed's eyes. I was feeling some type of way. And awkward, right? And I'm glad that I'm able to go ahead and, like, showcase this and, like, bring this up, like, how awkward this genuinely feels. And especially, like, I get it. There's conversations happening. But you could also, like, he's just staying perfectly still. He's not moving. So, for example, there's a difference between that and we're going to do it again. Hi, guys. Yo, how are you guys doing, right? Whatever. Oh, yeah, sorry, you really should be more careful about your driving. What is the difference? One of them, more naturalistic movement, right? Like, I'm cleaning up my desk a little bit more before I said anything. The other one, nothing. Eds, I can't. Alice, what do you mean you can't? I love you, Alice. Isn't the pause of Brechtian theater like... Well, it's also, here's the thing, even in therapy, right? It's like you are focused on something else, right? But that's how the real world is. In a real world environment, right? In a non-observational environment, everyone moves around. Even the kids in the background, they're moving and they're doing something because that is their environment. The doctor, however, he's not even doing any of that. He's not even trying to be like whatever, right? But he's not even saying something like, or even nodding or whatever, right? He's not even trying to go out and be a part of that conversation. Skinwalker moment, right? So that's exactly why I'm highlighting it, is there's two different approaches to it. And for me, this doctor is screaming fucking red flags. And I hope that this transpires well onto Twitch and YouTube. And you guys can kind of feel as to what I'm getting at. Is like, it just feels weird. And it just feels like, I don't know. It's unnatural to a point. Like,
気をつけた方がいい。
わかったわかった。あ、そうだ、キリコちゃん。そうだ、キリコ。
Reports of spectators going missing. Doctor, is that you? Are you kidnapping a bunch of spectators too? Just observing first and then Senka going be... Okay, that is no way, no fucking way that like shit is happening, bro. Creepy ass doctor just showcased 21 seconds of no movement, even or acknowledgement for anything, and then all of a sudden, like a big poster of like reports of spectators going missing. Like,
あ、そうだ、キリコちゃん。私のカメラにフラッシュついたんだよ。新しいブロマイド作って売ろうよ。じゃあ先生と一枚撮ってよ。
僕はいいよ。
撮るよ。ブロマイド作って売ろうよ。じゃあ先生と一枚撮って。
本当に気をつけた方がいい。
わかったわかった。あ、そうだ、キリコちゃん。私のカメラにフラッシュついたんだよ。新しいブロマイド作って売ろうよ。じゃあ先生と一枚撮ってよ。
僕はいいよ。
撮るよ。
So then the Kiriko that we have isn't Kiriko. Is that what's happening? Unless some big major traumatic event happened, this is a completely different persona. The doc screams psychopath. What? This personality that we're witnessing here, as opposed to the personality that we have in the first two episodes, different people. Different people altogether. Different fucking people. Different environments, different settings, even the response rate and shit is... Hold on. Hold on. So you guys can tell. Look at this.
新しいブロマイド作って売ろうよ。じゃあ先生と一枚撮ってよ。
僕はいいよ。
撮るよ。売ろうよ。
もらえば半分に切れば履けるだろ。
そんなに足短くないわ。お腹すいた。姉ちゃんおかえり。何着だった？見てなかったの。落車して危険。怪我は？後続の人が避けてくれた。
Sometimes trauma changes people. Absolutely.
本当に子供の人格が残っていた。
Although her name is Kiruko and the other one's Kiriko. Wait a minute. I thought it was the same name.
のかもしれないし、本能的に生かしておいたのかもしれない。
宿に餌が寄ってくるからか。
もしかしたらおかみさんが息子に客を食わせていたから。やめとこ。真相は
Different identity, a dead name. Bro, sorry, my brain's fucking heating up. My brain is on fucking fire right now. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Like, the AC is on and I'm sweating. Like, I feel like I'm on the verge of a fucking nosebleed here. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Like, this is rough, dude. My brain is heating up like no tomorrow. Since she's a bodyguard, or maybe when we talk about the... But then also comes this, right? Why is she carrying around the pictures?
闇の中でいい。ただでさえ大変な案件を抱えてんだ。天国を探すなんて。おう、電池持ってく？
あれはおかみさんにあげたもの。
Wait. That's fucked. That is fucked. Holy shit. Okay. 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 Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. hold on. Right? Kiruko. Right? So, is it stew? Is it omelet? Is it whatever? Here's the thing. Clearly, they're like this Kiruko, Kiruko, has had interactions with the doctor and has a picture of Robin. We know that, right? What is this kid's name? What is the name of this kid? Haruki, right? At least I thought it is, right? Okay. What is her name? Kiriko, Kiriko, right? So, this picture...
私のカメラにフラッシュついた。
僕はいいよ。
春樹、あの医者。
行くよ。
Her speech rate. Kiriko's speech rate. The way that she talks. Look, we're going to go ahead and play this, right?
あ、そうだ。わかったわかった。あ、そうだ。キリコちゃん見てなかったの。
The way that she talks here, Kiriko, very different than Kiruko, right? Hold on. Just going to random... No.
どっちにしても戦う手段がないし、危険がないなら殺す必要もないか。
なんだよ、やめろよ。お姉ちゃん、動いてる電車に乗ったことあるの？
大災害の時3歳だったからな。乗ってたとしても覚えてないや。
あれ？お姉ちゃん20歳だったら当時は5歳じゃ。ちょっとその水大丈夫なの？
口すすぐだけなら大丈夫。落車して危険。怪我。
Very subtle, but different tonality and pattern of speaking. Very subtle and different pattern of speaking. Kiriko, Kiriko. Haruki, Haruki. Tell me, why is it that if you perfectly cut both of these names, right, you get this full name? Someone stop him. Hold him down. And this isn't me just being fucking Pepega, because I'm legit fucking freaking the fuck out. Is there gonna be like a fusion dance or some shit, or is there a way of like splitting of some consciousness or identities, or is there a way where you're able to go ahead and like force this? Unless Kiruko is introduced at a little point, Kirruko, as like a friend of everyone. My question is, why is the Doc and Robin such a pivotal role in their life, unless it directly impacts them in some way, shape, or form? Like, it is just too smart. I can't. Like, I have it. I'm writing it down here. Hold on. Because the thing with identities, though, is nothing really stands out. Maybe she is somehow taking parts of her brother's identity for some reason. But she, as we're put, Kiruko, Kirruko, identifies as a he, and I know some people were trying to say it's a joke, but I never heard it re-clarified. So people were like, at least they identified as a he. I didn't think of it as a joke, so I'm gonna go ahead and say they identify as a he. But clearly in this, Haruki says to her, "You're like, you know, sis or whatever," right? When she comes through, so. There are some clear roles established here, which again, my mind goes into this whole identity crisis that is happening. Hold on, hold on, because my mind is fucking rivaling here, right? This is the spelling, right? Hold on, fuck, focus, camera, focus. It ain't that hard. Kirruko, right? For the one that we see. In like Kiriko. Oh God, if it'll focus right here. There you go. Kiriko. Yeah. Haruki. I need a digital. No, keep it older style, bro. You don't need no digital nothing, bro. We're able to go ahead and just talk about it. It's always good to just be open and talk about stuff. So, what I automatically my big thing that's coming through with this is something has to happen. Something has to happen. This face, this body we've seen, right? No wonder like there's striking similarities. But like the photos and whatnot wouldn't make sense otherwise. So something is going on here. My mind can't. I would say at least a marker, since that would be much easier on camera. Something is going on here. My brain can't fucking process it. I don't trust a doctor. I don't fucking trust a doctor. I have a really, really fucked up theory or something. But I don't think it's going to go there. I don't think the show's going to fucking go there. I don't think the show's going to go there. This is... yeah. Looking at the... wait, what does the kanji look like? I don't know the kanji for their names. I was just going off of what they're... My theory... No, it doesn't work. If you... Like, if I write it out just plainly, though, like, literally, like, I guess English... It comes out like it's kind of fucking terrifying. You think they use katakana or hiragana? Kiruko uses katakana. It's probably katakana. Oh. Well, regardless, my main thing is there's something happening here because if you perfectly mesh their names, you get Kiruko, which is terrifying, which is fucking terrifying. So maybe one of them adopted the identity of both of them to try and survive, or maybe there's something happening. But I have a really, really fucked up theory that I don't want it to come true. And this isn't me predicting any fucking thing. This is just me looking at the context clues and what's observational. If I had someone in here, right, or if I had someone in therapy that came in as like Nikali, right? They're like, "Hi, my name is Nikali, and you know I identify as she, her." Cool. Let's talk about it, Nikali. And, you know, we're talking, whatever. We're going through whatever. We're like, hey, Nikali, tell me a little bit more about yourself, and so on and so forth. And, like, Nikali is like, oh, well, you know, so on and so forth. So the point that I'm getting at is, like, if you take apart that name, it would probably be Nick, otherwise known as Nickmer on here, and then Ali for, like, Alice, right? So that's sort of what I'm getting at is like, how do these joint consciousness or joint abilities or joint name come to place? Because nobody else would have a picture of the Doc and Robin like that. Unless it's one of these kids that adopts both of their names as a legacy thing, which is very, very probable. I would probably do something like that. But yet someone that looks similar to her? Well, it's not impossible because we have that creepy Doc. What? My theory at this point is that Kiriko changed gender and took some aspects of her brother. Could be. That is actually really, really interesting. Could be. Because my big scary thing is this, right? Before we even get into this is... Reports of spectators gone missing. We have the doctor there. And so on and so forth. For some reason, for me, and this is something that I fear, is any form of transhumanism that is happening to the population in order to survive. Like, any form of, like, any form of quite literally, like, people coming together and weird experimentation in order for humanity to keep going forward. That is exactly what I'm fucking terrified about. Human experiments? That's not human. Sorry, guys. I feel like I feel like I'm so fucking wrong. Yeah, the notification. I don't know why I'm getting notifications. I have that shit off to go through and fix everything. But for me, it's like I feel like I'm so wrong because I'm thinking about aspects like this, and I'm just like, whoa, whatever, dude. Apocalypse is prime time for experimentation. No laws or ethical concerns. Yeah. Sounds good, Desho. No worries. It could be this girl over here or this dude over here that like takes the picture and takes on their like a mixture of everyone's identity or something. I don't fucking know, dude. I'll let this show play. I'm done, dude.
私のカメラにフラッシュついたんだよ。新しいブロマイド作って売ろうよ。じゃあ先生と一枚撮ってよ。
僕はいいよ。
撮るよ。
もう行くよ。
うん。ありがとう先生。
春樹、あの医者隠れて人食いの研究したり人体実験してるって話だぜ。
Ah, fucking shit. Ah. After a period of reflecting, I've noticed. Sorry, guys. It's what the fuck? What is this show? Now I'm more scared that this might go into the transhumanistic, right? Like, Alice, you didn't tell me the show was gonna be like this, dude. Alice, I need a hug. Like that ain't man-eaters stuff, and even experimenting on humans. That just fucking terrifies me. Because my thing is, this even makes me wonder. Aren't you happy yet? Of what? Of what? What if it's just a rumor because doctors is awkward and antisocial? But transhumanism is cool. You haven't seen nothing yet. But if there are some weird experimentations and shit that's happening, this for me is just screaming, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. This screams to me that this is an unsafe environment for these kids to even be around, right? Because if something goes wrong, like, who's not to say that these kids won't be used in that human experimentation? Nah, man, this is fucked. This is beyond fucked. I can't even fully wrap my head around it, man. That's how fucked this is.
今ロビンが調べてる。あんまりキリコちゃんを近づけない方がいいぞ。
春樹、寒くない？
うん。姉ちゃんは？
寒い。
え？じゃあこっち入る？うわっ！本当に入るの？どうしたの
？3丁目に人食いが出た。こっちには来させねえから気にせず寝てろ。
行くぞロビン。
はい。
行くの？
大丈夫。
Oh no. Oh no. I mean, my thing is, are they really brother and sisters, or is this just because it's an orphanage that they're adopting themselves like that? Right. Like, Haruki, you're just a kid. But there's a lot that comes to play with this, and I'm they have this, oh, they have the same last name. Could be. I mean, some people do that. Some people do that all the time. Right. So this like, in terms of like, hey, you know what? We're going to be blood brothers, blood sisters, whatever. I'm looking at this and it's like red flag that he's a kid. He's going alone. And there's this idolization towards Robin. Like there's this pedestal work that is happening towards Robin. This for me, if that doesn't scream red flags, I'm like, this can go toxic pretty fucking quickly.
行くの？大丈夫。僕の作った銃もあるし、ロビンの役に立ちたいんだ。
思えばこの頃が僕にとっての天国だったのかもしれない。
すげえじゃん。先週その武器で人食い退治したんだって。
うん。
遊びでやってんじゃねえ。危ねえから来んなっつっただろ。
How do you kill a man-eater? I know for some of you guys, this might be like random ass questions. I swear to you it's not. Because for me, this is actually a process of thinking. Because I'm like, we know that Maru with this ability goes in and crushes it. So, goes in, or like goes in and whatever, right? So what do you do? What do you do? How do you kill it? That black-haired girl is Robin, right? How do you kill it? Do you eat it? Yeah. It's not immortal. Probably something that can pierce through it. You kill it when you make it die. Eliana. But it's a genuine question. Is how do you take out something like that? Because that's, for me, this is screaming. If it bleeds, it can die. It seems like a really hard struggle. It seems like one of those events where if you put yourself in that position of risk, it might completely like decimate you, right? Would you be able to kill one of your friends if they turned into a man-eater? Like, would you be able, like, for example, if all of a sudden I turned into a man-eater, would you be able to take me out? If Alisu turned into a man-eater, I don't know. If Nick turned into a man-eater, I don't know. If AZ turned into a man-eater, yeah, probably. No, I'm kidding. But this is why I'm highlighting aspects like that. You know, like, there are, it just depends as to, like, probably because the danger kicks in. It just depends as to how comfortable you are with taking a life and what do you do with things.
ロビンは10年前の大災害で僕と同じ年の妹を亡くしてるんだ。だからなんていうかちょっと過保護なんだよね。あっと、今何時？合ってる時計はどれかいな。これは
お、2時20分。
いかん、3時から姉ちゃんのレースだ。またね。
ロビンは過保護かもしれないけど、あいつはシスコンだね。
そうだね。
Right. Why do I feel like this guy has a lot of fucking stories to tell, dude? This guy feels like he's like in a weird semblance is like the story dripper apocalypse drip with all these watches. Which watch is it? Tokyo, USA time, LA time. I got here like, you know, European time. Like, what are we going for?
2時20分。
いかん、3時から姉ちゃんの
What
レ
are
ー
you
スだ。
buying?
またね。
ロビンは過保護かもしれないけど、あいつはシスコンだね。
そうだね。よし、間に合った。
What the fuck is that? Oh my god, that looks like the fucking the little critters in our cells that eat up all that like random goop and shit. The like yeah, I can't see it. It's like the invisible John Cena's of the world. Like macrophages. Yeah, the little like Mr. Blobs here, dude. What the fuck?
コースの終盤に人食いがいる。この前と同じ透明になるやつ。
Angela, thanks so much for the 1 bit. Welcome on in, appreciate you.
人食いが入っていたアーケードにカートが来るまで7、8分はあるはずだ。
Oh no. Oh no.
僕がやるんだ。
長い直線を終え第2コーナーを曲がったのは8番3番4番5番2番がここでスピン大きく遅れた。集団はそのまま戦争時へ。4番竹早うまく引き離した。リリックさんでいいぞ。
どこだ。コースから出たのか。
Oh shit.
びっくりするほど聞いてない。
Let me touch on this real quick. Let me talk to y'all real quick. Is this a defensive mechanism that this thing has where it turns invisible? Because this is where my mind is going, right? My mind immediately rushes into like, so there's differences in man-eaters, right? In these creatures where it feels like some of them might be used for offensive purposes and others might be used for defensive purposes. And this camouflage things, yeah. And that's why I'm throwing this out there. It's like, how did these creatures get this superpower? This random power, this random ability? Did it come from like this great calamity or whatnot? Or fuck. I might be insane. I might really be fucking overcooking at the moment. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I literally might be. Wait, if it has a defense mechanism, does that mean that the re ones are stronger than the ones that hide? It is a bunch of chameleons. Thanks so much for following, Luxadox. Appreciate it, mate. The reason why I'm saying this, or who else have we seen with superpowers in this show so far? Who else have we seen that have superpowers in this show so far? The kids. The fucking kids. The kids. I'm like, because these aren't Animorphs gone wrong. It's more like... That's why I'm freaking the fuck out right now, because this is clearly becoming an issue that these, like, the people that we've seen with superpowers are the kids, and they've introduced us this version of heaven, right? Did heaven get corrupted? Or was this the purpose that led them to start developing stuff on the kids? Did these creatures come first and say that they like hunt down some of these creatures and develop some sort of like genetic encoding for the kids? It all makes sense with the doc now. Because like, why would it need to make itself invisible if it's already stronger than humans? Well, think about it like a defense mechanism, right? Because how would you feed, right, and not be seen? If you are a man-eater, what is the best way for you to stay, that one, defended, and two, feed? By going invisible, right? So it feels like a giant-ass defense mechanism. Other man-eaters, true. Oh, shit. To be fair, a wink by a right person can be very, very distracting. To be fair, a wink by the right person can be very, very distracting. Wait, maybe experiment went wrong and it mutated. It could be Kurugane. It absolutely could be. That's exactly where my mind is referencing. Is like maybe just like, you know, in a lot of like verses, right, where the Garden of Eden, for example, if we're gonna go and talk about like heaven like that, where all these kids got corrupted, right? Maybe they, I don't know, had like too much of a taste of an apple or some shit. I don't fucking know. Or maybe it's vice versa, where like this experiments are what led to the kids to have their superpowers. Adam and Eve, or monsters were first and kids come later. Exactly. So that's why I'm like, Regardless, Pandora's box is open and this is terrifying.
やった、手応えが。
Oh fuck!
食われる。
先頭4番竹早、第3コーナーを抜けてアーケードへ。さてここからしばらく。
What the fuck, dude? I thought it was just gonna be chomp and that's it. Not like, let me goop you into my body. That's fucked, dude. You want to talk about terrifying? Imagine suffocating to death with this goop coming into your lungs and your body and like literally just tearing. Oh no. It's like assimilating you. Yeah, but imagine it just going into every little orifice of your body, dude. Ah. 放送席からも追えなくなります。ただいま浅草レース会では。
止まれ！人食いが出た。レースは無効だ。戻って本部に知らせろ。
Bruh. Bruh. That thing's slurping it like a smoothie, bro. It's just like the trauma that comes from this. Ooh. Oh no, brother. It's a parasite. Oh. And it is. It feels that way, like. Oh no. Well, she got half of him back. That's fucked, dude. I have to make a stupid comment because oh no, bro. This shit's dark. You guys did not prepare on third. You guys did not prepare. You guys did not prepare me that you guys did, okay, I thought this show wasn't gonna be this dark. I thought this show was not gonna be this dark. So fuck you. Fuck you. This is really, really, really dark, dude. Haruki's half the man he used to be. Bro, well, there goes out my theory. There goes out my theory that I had for this show. Just bloop. Oh, yeah, Alice. Wow, thank you. Thank you for not warning me. Fuck you guys. Oh, fuck, dude. Oh, bro, you want to talk about more traumatizing? That gunshot, though, like, what the f... Y'all hurt me time and time again. So she cared for him a lot more than anything else. And I mean, even in the room where she was sleeping on the floor and he was sleeping on the bed, like, what wouldn't you do for, wow. That hurts, man. That hurts. Like, like, you know, even eating wise, right? Where she's giving, you know, he's eating, you don't really see a bowl or anything on her side, and just, she might have a little bit of a food or whatnot, but the sibling dynamics and the whole question of love and whatnot in terms of some siblings, yeah, it can be absolutely real. We all have different sibling relationships, and some of us would do anything to protect our siblings, right? She's just like his mom. Some of us would do anything to protect our friends. And seeing a dynamic like this, it's awesome to see in a show, but also the trauma that comes from this, huge. Like, fuck this shit. Nope, 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 no. It's going into some straight up transhumanist shit that I was talking about. You want to talk about fucking terrifying? You want to talk about terrifying? Is we're going into some transhumanist aspect where more than likely that gunshot wasn't for him. That gunshot was probably for her, or some instances like that. And we're going into it like, because it's still his fucking narrative that we're hearing after all of this shit. Dude. No. No. We in the double hockey, what the fuck? Well, oh.
また人食いが出たってよ。子供が一人亡くなったと。むごいな。
You guys might think this is science fiction. And for the most part, you're right. For the most part, you're right. However, there are some doctors currently that have been stopped ethically over time and time again from they did it with dogs. And yes, no, Bonfire, it's happening now. It's been happening. You guys can look this up yourselves. It's all over Google and a bunch of stuff, because there was a lot of arguments about it. We're quite literally switching a person's head and the sternum, or like their parts of their cerebellum and, you know, their head onto another body and aspects like that. It was highly debated. It wasn't a successful surgery, if I remember correctly, but yet this stuff is being done and experimented on right now. This isn't something that's like out there, right? And it's yeah, that's why I'm looking at this and I'm like, this is ooh. what would that do to you? Well, so then I was right. I was right, but I don't want to be right. I wouldn't have thought about it if not for Metal Gear Solid 5 promo campaign, right? So, like, and here's the thing. Brain transplant is difficult because the brain is complex. And that's sort of why they're doing neuron testing and stuff like that. And it is really, really difficult. But fuck, dude. Hey, man. What's up, Scorched? How you doing? Like, in psychology, we say the body keeps the score. So I wonder, right? If you were to be transfused or your brain were to be put into another person's body, how would that work for you? Would you still keep the traumas of your previous body? Or would you accept the traumas of this new body going into that as well? Like, this is, oof. People will get insane seeing yourself in the mirror and whatnot. It depends as to what it is, man. It depends as to what it is, Scorched. Self-identity also, how would you physically experience things could be differently. Well, yeah. And especially if it's not like a completely different body, a different gender, different everything. You're also looking into different sensations as to what would work for you in that case, right? So, like, let's be honest. Would you be okay? I'm just going to throw it out there. Sexually, with exploring areas of yourself in a different environment, in a different everything. How would you feel about that, guys? It's basically mutating genetics. Yeah. Nah. How would you feel when all of a sudden, you know, you're in this completely different body and your brain has to start recognizing abilities and things like this? And it, like, does it keep throwing out testosterone or does it go more for estrogen in a case like this? Not just exploring the body in the wrong gender, it's your sister's body as well. Yeah, Clever, so you have to deal with that. And that's sort of what's huge. Like, this is it's a journey and a half to get through, and it's a journey and a half to do. I know, right, Seashell? I think the difference with that, Seashell, though, it is your sister's body. You know, it is a family's body. So you also have to take that into consideration. And yeah, I think everybody would at some point how it would feel being a... Oh, that's fucked. Makes sense. It fucking makes sense. It makes sense as to why he's he made that joke that he's a he or whatnot in the first episode. Bro, my mind is, it's a brain transplant. Yeah. I said she or he would get insane, bro. Of course he fucking did. After giving you medical attention, they don't even fucking know. The doctor gave them medical attention and then left town. Fuck the doctor, dude. I told you that doctor was untrustworthy. Told you that motherfucker's 21 seconds of silence, like, you know, like, blighting his fucking time, bro. He had to go get some milk, dude. No, fuck that doctor. I'm pissed, dude. Fuck that doctor. Oh my god.
2人とも瀕死の状態で担ぎ込まれた。弟さんのことは残念だったけど、どういう治療をしたにせよ、先生がいなければ2人とも死んでいたと思います。わからない。最後に見た姉ちゃんは泣いてたけど、ちゃんと生きてた。
But who the fuck would shoot her? I guess that's where the real question comes in. Unless someone valued or knew, maybe it was a doc. Maybe it was a doc himself, right? Where he sees this thing happening and he immediately takes action in order to go ahead and like experiment. I mean, when asked how old he was, he responded 18, then 20. I mean, yeah, it would make sense. Oh, Chotomate, wouldn't her body have a gunshot wound if she died? I mean, depends. Either the doc or experiment or someone else in the doctor tried to save at least. At least he saved one of them, right? Yeah, we didn't see who the fuck. We heard a gunshot, but we didn't know who did it. This is yeah. I'm scared. I'm fucking terrified.
あの後、姉ちゃんも人食いにやられちゃったのかな。確かなことは、自分が春樹だということ。
Well, I mean, she has like a little scar up here. I don't know, maybe?
その証拠に、確実に襲ってくる姉を失った悲しみ。そして、時折もたげる好きな女の体を手に入れた薄暗い喜び。
Hey, yo.
姉ちゃんの体の怪我がいい。
Hey, yo? wait a minute. I just want to go ahead and make sure that what I was seeing was correct. Hold on.
確実に襲ってくる姉を失った悲しみ。そして、時折もたげる好きな女の体を手に入れた薄暗い喜び。
Explains the kissing mirror scene. I thought the same thing. Well, I mean, yeah. Plus, it is the body of someone who's older, right? Oh man, that's sick. It is the body of someone that's older, right? Who probably doesn't fully understand the body, and probably your brain would now be telling you, hey, you have an adult body, you have to do certain things, i.e. masturbation and other aspects start flowing in, hormones, so on and so forth. My big, man, it's really concerning. I am so fucking concerned what the fuck this doctor is doing, and now it makes me wonder. For a doctor to be doing this type of and actually be able to pull this off post-apocalyptic and not even like a new hospital. We're talking about a post-apocalyptic hospital. This is where my brain is going, right? Does this mean that he's done this before? Because he's comfortable working with little to no equipment and having a high success rate like this. Does he know about the other kids? The kids with superpowers? He has to be from heaven or whatever. That's exactly what I'm thinking, TLC. That is exactly what I'm thinking. I'm like, no fucking way, bro. No way a random person just starts doing experiments like that and is like able to go ahead and save someone like that. I mean, he's able to go ahead and get a success rate out of this. That's insane, Masters. Even for a regular doctor to get, like, for a surgery, like a brain surgery, you still have a high rate of mortality. For him to be able to pull that off, that's, yeah.
姉ちゃんの体の怪我が癒え、ある程度動けるようになった頃には、入院から4ヶ月近く経っていた。ロビンは医者の裏の顔を探ってたはずだ。ロビンならきっと調べられる。どうして僕が姉ちゃんになっているのか。なんで姉ちゃんが死んじゃったのか。すみません。浅草レース会の稲崎ロビンに会いたいんですけど。ああ、そりゃ無理。
Haruki. There's two possibilities for this, Haruki. I'm going to be straight up with you. There's two possibilities for this. Number one, the doctor was the one that went through and shot and shot you and so on and so forth for that to happen. Number two, Robin was the one that did this. And I know some of you guys are going to be like, wait, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm talking about this.
Haruki, 喧嘩するときは相手から目をそらしてもいいんだ。相手の目を睨むなんてのは威嚇だけで。
Talking about this. Come on. Whatever, them fighting, so on and so forth. We clearly saw Robin step in and like out of a controlled madman try and go ahead and you know, like kick him and save him and do all the other things to the other person. So my thing is, hold up, let him cook, YouTube. My thing is, why would he go this far for a brat? Why would he go this far for a kid? Why? I don't have a fucking clue. Wouldn't that mean he and the doc could be working together to test his skills? To see, especially a kid with, in like, you know, that's in an orphanage. Why? My brain is fucking swirling. My brain is going all over the place. I wonder how well, or what the connection is between Robin and Kiriko. I wonder what the connection between them is. I wonder what Haruki has to go ahead and play and if they even got along. I need to speed up my reading pace. Like, as we're going through this, my mind is like spiraling with all of these questions. I'm like, it was either the doctor or it was Robin, because these two are some of the biggest fucking threats out there that like have been established in terms of like communication patterns and stuff. Like, this is all right. I'm pushing forward. Sorry, guys. This is me just pointing it out of this. These are random fucking theories. It could be one of the racers, but I doubt it, because the racers left. So, I mean, unless Robin was around or the doctor knew that if something was there or some shit. I don't know, man. I don't fucking know. I'm confused.
ならきっと調べられる。どうして僕が姉ちゃんになっているのか。なんで姉ちゃんが死んじゃったのか。すみません。浅草レース会の稲崎ロビンに会いたいんですけど。
ああ、そりゃ無理だな。ロビンは去年の9月頃だったか。多分殺されちまってるよ。去年この辺で失踪事件が増えて、それ絡みで犯人を調査してたらしいが、結局本人もそのまま消えちまった。
Bruh. Yeah, right. No body?
すみません。ここにあった船山孤児院は
どこかよそへ行ったよ。稼ぎ頭だったレーサーが事故で亡くなったり、リーダー格の子が行方不明とかで、いろいろ不幸が重なってこの町でやっていけなくなったんだろうね。
So what the fuck is Robin gonna do the moment that he sees Kiriko, right? Even though we know it's Haruki and Kiriko's body, or Kiruko, right, back. What is he gonna do? It'd be fucking terrifying. It would be like if he goes through and he fight, like they come into this interaction because he's trying to fucking find Robin, and say that they find him. What the fuck is he gonna do? I'm sorry, I'd be fucking terrified. I would be fucking terrified. It's like, you know, say that like, you know, say that I passed away, right? There's big news and everything. And then randomly, on a random day, boom, they're like, Psyculturist is live. And you come through and you see me here again. How would that make you feel? It would be fucking terrifying, yeah?
姉ちゃん、ロビン。
結局本人もそのまま消えちまった。
Okay, sorry. 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 So, we know that Kiriko and the doc actually got along to the point where they would follow one another. My thing is, where is Kiriko's brain? Clearly they operated on her, and clearly she has like all of these things, right? So what about the other kid? Does he have stitches as well, or did the doctors not even care to search? So my question is, was she shot in the head, or was it just like a quickly do this, I want to save him type of thing? And let's go even further. Is her brain, because you can probably find a way to go ahead and keep the brain from completely desecrating. Can you put that in an artificial intelligence, or a form of an artificial intelligence, and keep that version of the brain alive? That way you accept sort of what's coming, and or change it to a man-eater, and or something around that lines. If the doc is experimenting, and he may have had some clues, and he's experimenting on humans and man-eaters, what a perfect way to get a body and to be able to go ahead and do certain things like that. This is where my brain is automatically going into this conclusion, right? It was either the doc or Robin, which was the immediate thing, and then came to my mind, what if it was Kiriko herself? Yeah, there is a scar on top of the head for like a bullet wound. Could be, but did they completely swap brains, or only replace specific part of Haruki's memory? Gunshot, go back and unbandaging. Has a scar, probably a gunshot. Could be one or the other. That's my main thing. But still, what happens to the other body? Do you just discard it? Do you feed it? What did that doctor do to it? That's where my brain is at. And it also goes into, how far can you keep a human alive before it completely... It can't just disappear. Exactly. Exactly. It can't just disappear. I mean, one brain is dead. I mean, can you clone someone? Hold on. Now that we're getting into this possibility of transhumanism, can't you clone someone as well through like a similar possibilities? If his brain is active, right? Sort of like a les enfants terribles aspect, where you quite literally, in case you guys don't know, les enfants terribles is essentially, in Metal Gear Solid, they take the DNA of Big Boss and they make a bunch of clones, otherwise known as Solid Snake, Liquid Snake, and Solidus Snake, right? Along with everyone and everything else out there. Couldn't you go ahead and do a similar aspect where you take Haruki's, say, brain or whatever, and use that as a base for cloning in a situation like this? Like, if this were to go in a really fucked up experimental route, that is an aspect to go ahead and take, right? Because clonage is automatically seen as, like, a fucked up, like, I don't know, like, system of no control, system of going through. So, this is why I'm like, that's immediately where my brain goes, which is, could cloning be a possibility or an aspect like that? Or, anyway... You definitely can, but can you clone personalities or memories? I mean, if you're able to go ahead and trace probably, if you're able to go ahead and trace a person's neurotransmitters and shit like that, probably. It just depends. Like, in a post-apocalyptic world, fucking difficult unless you're like a genius or whatnot. Hello, Ed. What's up, FinFan? How you doing? I hope you've been doing good. No worries. You're on transport to the hospital. Oh shit! I hope you're okay. I'm curious. I'm just. Why not upload yourself into a robot? Like the ones in heaven. Sorry, my brain's going wild. Mickey, you started up something that now I'm kind of wondering. I'm like, wait a minute, Mickey, wait a minute. Oh no, a clone shouldn't have scars. You sure about that? Metal Gear Solid 5 would disagree with you on that. Even though that technically wasn't a clone, they completely refigured their person's face, so they went ahead and they had a bunch of scars and stuff, and whatnot as well. What if the kids are robots instead? Could be. I'm just super curious as where this show's gonna go, dude. This is wild. Oh, bro.
どこかで生きてる。医者だ。医者が全部知ってる。ロビンの行方も、姉ちゃんが死んだ理由も、僕が姉ちゃんになって生きてる理由も。
Yeah.
それから二人を探していろんな町に住み、
You know what's the sad part is there are a lot of teens in Tokyo and young kids in Tokyo and in many places around the world, not just Japan, who, like, you can tell that, like, you know, are out there in need of help, homeless or ran away or whatever. I've noticed this all over the place, whether it was in Europe or in Mexico or here in the United States and so on and so forth, where, yeah, like, and it sucks that there's not a good enough support system to help, but in a post-apocalyptic setting, would that really help? Wow.
それから二人を探していろんな町に住み、依頼をこなし、一人で何でもできるようになって、それから4年ほどして中野で君と出会ったんだよ。こんな話を人にしたのは初めてだ。
I hope you know, now I'm looking at the entire show fucking differently, and I'm like, Maru, why does Maru look like Tokyo? I'm just gonna throw out the same thing for, like, every fucking person now. Like, is Maru transhumanist? Is Maru a clone? Maru's a part of the Lalilulelo. Is Haruki and Kiriko now a system of fusion? I don't know. I'm trusting nothing, bro. Like, nothing that this show is throwing out there. I'm like, nah, bro. Liquid Snake. He does have powers, though, true. Everyone's part of the conspiracy now.
一つ確認したいんだけど、お姉ちゃんって呼ばない方が良かったかな。
そこ？いや、いいよ。もう1ヶ月近く呼ばれてるし、お互い慣れてるでしょ。ま、そういうわけなので、僕のことは男だと思っておいて。
そんな急に無理だよ。
Bruh.
君。ちょっといないくらい美少年だからすぐふさわしい相手見つかるって。
こんな気が合う女の人見つかんないよ。
それは頭が男同士だから。
写真の稲村ジェーンだっけ？
稲崎ロビンね。
その人のことはどう思ってるの？
そうだな、ずっと同じ家で育ったから家族みたいなもんだし、親友でもあるし、憧れてもいたよ。だから同性としてだよ。君まだ混乱してるよね。
こんな振られ方したらそりゃ混乱もするよ。
一回寝て頭を整理しなよ。
そうする。起きたらこの話も夢になってるかも。何よ、うるさいな。
どうした？
窓の外にでっかい魚がいたんだよ。
There's a huge fish outside the window.
確かに雨も降っていないのに窓の外が濡れてる。
妙だな。マル、一応警戒だ。船長に。
It's the fucking kids. It's the kids. Hold on. This is the fucking kids, dude. It's fish time. Blah, 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 blah. I'm done. I'm done. It's the fish. It's the what kids, bro? Literally, the kids in the beginning, they were drawing a fish with arms like this, man. They were drawing a giant ass fish with some fucking hands exactly like this, right? Like that's what I thought about it. This is like a monster-esque picture of, like, you know, whatever. This is ooh. What the fuck happened? What happened to these kids? No, there's no such thing as coincidences. So especially when it comes to stuff like this, my thing is either A, whatever gave them the superpowers became corrupt and started changing them. B, people kept trying to, I don't know, fuck around with their condition. Maybe if you push past a certain point, you start mutating to weird creatures or whatever. C, we could go ahead and go with an experimentation route where maybe they tried putting in everyone's superpowers into all the kids and it just didn't work. Fucked them up. D, you had the point where they're like, huh, maybe we'll use them as fucking weapons, and this is sort of the monstrosity of a weapon like that. What if it is the kid's ability? They fucked around and now they're finding out. E, yeah, this show, and then I checked my latest news and FT. Oof. Are they? Ugh. Maybe that's his power. Could be. Wow. No, Ed. No, Ed. No. It can't be. It can't be the kids. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. So then my question is, what the fuck becomes out of everyone here? Are all of these the man-eaters? Essentially, all these kids in here? And if that's the case, if this is the case, did all the kids become man-eaters? Or did some of them manage to not and fucking escape this facility or some shit? My mind's going wild. My mind is going fucking wild. Like, this is... Ooh. Huh. Kind of looks similar. Telepathic stuff, probably, yeah. This is Tokyo. Yes, this is Tokyo. Hold on. This is Tokyo, yeah? So then... I have a lot of questions, which is essentially, I'm not gonna ask it now, but because it's inappropriate. But I'll wait till later, because my mind, I'm way too fucking heated up right now, and not a good way. I feel like this show might give me a nosebleed, and like first one in a long time, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, like I am so fucking hot right now. It's yeah. No, the AC is really fucking cold. I like staying cold, and I'm still. Are Tokyo and this guy gonna hook up or something? Are they gonna be in a relationship or something? Is this what the ending is hinting at? He gave her his balls. Dude. Just because like every shot in this ending has been like them two together. Oh, bruh. I'm just saying, like, you know, for example, earlier they were both sitting down together. So it's like keying in this relationship together here. The way you just said it.
これ赤ちゃん？この絵僕にちょうだいよ。
これは時代にあげる約束だからこの次ね。
やったー。コナの絵は変でいいね。
変かな。
変だよ。だって本当の赤ちゃんは。
ほらク君、テーブルに乗ってはいけません。
ほらク君、コナの邪魔になるからあっち行くよ。コナの絵にケチつけるなら欲しがるなよ。
褒めてたんだよ。それに僕見たもん、本物の赤ちゃん。本物の赤ちゃんには顔がないんだ。時代も見に行く？
What the fuck? Got little man-eater babies. Just a fucking X in circles here, like. And then they slowly turn into human-esque elements. Oh, bro, I'm fucking dying. Okay, but what happens, right? Because that can be possible, where they come off like weird, like man-eater baby-looking thing. But that means that they have to have gotten the man-eater DNA from somewhere, right? In order for this to happen, unless they're like fucking up with like genetic experimentation or whatnot from an early age, in order to go ahead and see what humanity can look like. But what happens when two of these creatures can start to reproduce, or two of these like things start to reproduce? Then what happens in an environment like that? Are they man-eaters, or are they kids? Because if they're being kept in this, are they separate, or are they together? My mind is fucking running around, right? Because it's like one aspect, where are these actual kids, or are these man-eaters? Because we know that these man-eaters have fucking powers and shit. Oh, my brain is fucking splintering. And then what happens if these kids have a kid? Or these man-eaters have a kid? Sorry. Comes the next question. How does she know? How does she know? How does she know that there are kids in this place without faces? You're telling me in a place full of artificial intelligence that literally just told her bad for getting on the table that they didn't catch her? I think something's going on. I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like something's going on in here.
この絵僕にちょうだいよ。
これは時代にあげる約束だから。この次ね。
やったー。コナの絵は変でいいね。
Look at how quickly the AI is to respond.
だって本当の赤ちゃんは。
Whatever they're connected to, whatever artificial intelligence they're connected to, I wonder. I'm legitimately fucking wondering. Whatever motherboard, chat GPT looking motherfucker they're connected to, I'm really, really fucking wondering if they're trying to corrupt these kids. If the process is like, how do you save humanity? And it's by literally destroying them. Right, because in an aspect where these kids are being brought up in a purish environment and what may be, yeah, are they always under surveillance? I would assume so in a high-tech facility like this, yeah. So there's probably some sort of corruption or something happening in here. But like, let's say that you were to put, like, how would you like protect humanity? And the best way to, or how would you protect the Earth? Probably the best way would be to get rid of humans, right? How would you do that? Well, you start introducing concepts of like shit like this to corrupt them, right? This is wild. This is a wild fucking show, and my brain's like, how are they corrupting? Let's talk about it. What is sex often seen as? Is sex, what's funny is giving birth is seen as pure and innocent, but what is sex often seen as? What are concepts of sexuality often seen as? Giving birth is often like dignified in this big aspect of like, oh, like, you know, the holy baby and whatnot. But what is sex often seen as? Nudity is seen as taboo. Sex is often like, oh, you guys are going to go have sex. Sex is often oppressed. Sex is often seen as a way of corruption into the soul. Sex is, and so on and so forth. Like, we could start breaking, like, sinful and stuff like this, right? In an environment where they're, like, they literally control almost every single aspect. We've seen kids kissing already, right? We've seen kids going into this aspect of sexuality that I'm kind of curious that no one has stepped in to go ahead and try and stop or correct behavior or whatnot like this in an environment where they're trying to keep it like heaven. So there's something that is corrupting these kids, and it's using knowledge to corrupt them. And that is what's funny to me, is that it's following a very similar story. And in the case, like, let's say that they do have kids in here, and that's what turns into these kids or whatever. How would they know? How did they even gain access to something like this? This means that someone had to go ahead and let them in. A kid literally received a naked photo that they probably didn't take themselves. Exactly, Destro. Exactly. This is exactly why, like, when we're running through a scenario like this, I'm like, there's a corruption that's happening at a fundamental level here that I think is ultimately impacting everything. Fucking everything. Like, they needed to hire me in this fucking facility to be like, nah, brah. Whatever we're connected to, let's fucking take that out, bro. We'll restart with something new, because fuck this shit. Would kids that are not introduced to the concept, they would, absolutely, right? Because that's a natural part of being human. However, there's a difference between, like, i.e. seeing that behavior and trying to correct, like trying to slowly correct it and say this is appropriate and inappropriate, versus this kid having knowledge about kids being faceless and whatever the fuck they might be experimenting on, where others don't have that knowledge. And that's sort of where the corruption keeps coming through. Edward, break down that wall. Yeah, this is, yeah. This is why, like, kids that are really, really young and see that they're being hypersexual or whatever, corrective actions have to take place, right? Or you have to ask sort of, hey, where'd you learn about this? Where'd you, like, always asking, like, how'd you learn about, like, doing this? Or where did this come from? Like, you're not in trouble, I'm just curious or whatever. Because you can go ahead and identify, one, did someone introduce this concept to them? 2, was there any form of abuse or whatnot? Because usually abuse in any way, shape, or form, or any form of corruption addresses into hypersexualization or aspects of whatnot. Number 3 is like, you know, if they start going that way, is why? Where did this come from? So, oof. Oof.
コナの絵にケチつけるなら欲しがるなよ。
褒めてたんだよ。それに僕見たもん。本物の赤ちゃん。
In an environment like
本物
this?
の赤ちゃんには顔がないんだ。時をも見に行く？
Oh, wild episode, ladies and gentlemen. Holy shit. Hold on. Let me go to Facecam here. Wild episode, ladies and gentlemen. Did I think that this show was going to go like this? No. I'm actually really fucking surprised. Like, this is some next level tier, like, next top tier fucking level shit, dude. Like, oof. Oof. Absolutely. It's amazing. It's taken me through a fucking... I don't even know how long we've stayed on this. We started around 2:30. It's been around 3 hours. 2 hours and something with all the technical difficulties. But still, what the fuck, dude? Where are we gonna go with this, and how is this gonna start evolving? Because it's yeah. I don't know, man. I don't fucking know. But I will say, hey, YouTube, if you guys enjoyed this, make sure to hit that like button, comment, subscribe, share. Let me know what you guys think here on Twitch. If you're lurking, dude, if you really like the content, hit that follow. It costs absolutely nothing.